again tonight with a Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror, and last I left off I got to Quaramonte, which is the next place you need to go to in Broken Sword 2 after completing the bit at the docks and rescuing Nickel. So I need to figure out what's going on. So this is the place that we are now investigating to see what lies more behind these little stones.
Those things are gourds, aren't they?
See.
Hey, mind the footwear, lady. Do you have to spit like that?
See. You think I want to swallow that crap?
What I mean is, it can't be doing your business any good. I'm sure you'd sell a lot more gourds if you didn't.
Nobody ever complained before.
Okay, I can see I'm not getting through. Do you have crabs?
No, only fish.
Nice fish.
Thanks.
If by some
Hey,
remote
poet,
chance
how
I
you
need a
doing?
fish, I'll be back. Do you recognize this statue?
Si, senor. It is very, very bad luck. That is Tezcatlipoca, Night Hunter.
The guy
Ooh,
looked
dun,
scared
dun,
out
dun.
of his wits.
Go away.
Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
That's good
Poor
to hear.
Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though
And
it's
not
illegal.
much, just the same old, just been tweaking around with that Infinity Soul I have at the moment, and being very eager to play this game. That's why I couldn't wait until like Sunday to play it. I really wanted to carry on playing more tonight, so I really like Broken Sword 2.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Tezcatlipoca. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Would either of you guys care for a biscuit?
A dog biscuit, senor?
Are you trying to insult us?
No, really, they're good.
We'll take your word for it.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, senor.
Me neither.
Do you guys know anything about a total eclipse?
What is it?
It's like when the sun is hidden by the moon.
It's crazy.
My cousin Alfredo swears he saw it happen once. But that was after he stupidly consumed a cocktail of peyote and antibiotics.
Take a look at the design on this label.
I have seen that before.
Where?
There was a ship flying a flag just like that.
When did you see this ship?
3 months ago. It was here, at the docks.
Dun, dun, dun.
What do you make of this little worm?
No good. It's dead.
Sure it's dead. You think I'd carry it around in my pocket if it wasn't? What was the ship with the condor flag carrying?
I don't know, senor. We weren't allowed near the docks.
That's right. Usually we meet the ships when they tie up.
We play to the tourists.
Well, when the Condor ship came in, we were told to go away.
Have you seen anything like...
I, the hungry chief.
Why are you carrying that thing around with you, senor? Don't you know who it is?
Sure, it's Tezcatlipoca. But it's only a little carving.
It brings death, senor. death and destruction.
And there's a goat as well, just like the first one. Except it's not chasing after you.
In Quaramonte, defacing a poster was probably a capital offense. It looked to me like an early portrait of Orson Welles. Now, I like most animals, but experience had made me wary of goats, and cats, and dogs.
If you remember the first game that had a goat in it, it's one of the reasons why he's wary of goats.
Hey, Nico!
Hola, señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobbart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Have you heard about the forthcoming eclipse?
I don't take much interest in things like that. One of the boys might know about it.
You see this? It's my lucky piece of coal.
What's so lucky about it?
I'm not sure yet.
Nice buns.
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I think it is a spirit stone carved by a Mayan priest, no? I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death and pestilence. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I've no idea.
Would you like a dog biscuit?
Would you like a smack in the mouth, Chico?
Would you be interested in these panties? They look about your size.
Is that your best line, Chico?
I'm serious. They were an unwanted gift.
Put them away before you get overexcited.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in Quaramonte City, may I recommend the Consolidated Mining Experience, an interactive, hands-on tour of one of our deepest mines, with talking tour guides available in 3 different languages.
A tour of a mine.
Well, this is a mining company. What else did you expect?
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzak?
No, senor.
Do you know anything about the eclipse that's due soon?
Me? No, senor.
How come you're not wearing any pants?
I feel more alert without them. Kind of perky.
And your boss doesn't mind?
She suggested it.
Ever hear of a guy called Karzak?
No, sir.
Did you know there's an eclipse of the sun in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, Joe told me about it. He's having a party and we're all invited. Me and the boys are dressing up as evil monks.
Yeah? Cool. Are you looking forward to the eclipse of the sun?
Not especially. Are you?
I don't know. I've never seen one. All I know about eclipses is that you shouldn't try to view them with the naked eye.
Please. Go away and let me get on with my work.
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
Can't you see I'm busy? If I don't finish this stock report, the boss will be mad as hell.
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
No.
Do you know anything about the eclipse?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I heard it's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's in a few weeks' time, isn't it?
9 days.
Thanks. Do you have any theories about this stone?
I think that design represents a dog, a Mexican dog.
It's a coyote.
So, this is the sacred Chihuahua stone? Sheesh. Take a look at this.
Mon Dieu! Where did you get that kind of money?
It's not mine. I found that statement at Ubier's house. Take a look at this.
An eclipse of the sun. Why the sudden interest in astronomy?
I found the cutting in Ubier's house.
Apparently, it's only visible from Central America.
Take a look at this, Nico.
That's disgusting, George. Why are you carrying it around with you?
I don't know. I just can't seem to part with it. I found these in your
I
bag.
think you actually end up using that worm at one point.
They were a gift.
I know. I read the note.
God knows what was going through Andre's mind.
I think that's quite plain enough. Do you recognize this?
Is that the dart which knocked me out?
That's right. I kept it as a souvenir. Guess what this is? Go on, guess.
It's wrought iron, probably from a chimney stack on an old stove.
Well, I suppose it could be. How did she know that?
My grandfather used to work in a foundry.
Would you like a biscuit?
Gourmet dog? Have you been eating those things, Georges?
Sure, they're great. Have you any idea who this little statue is supposed to be?
I'm not very well acquainted with Mayan deities, Georges. But whatever his name, he sure is ugly.
Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? You must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something?
Alright, that's all we can do here for now, so...
Gorge Stobbart,
Mrs. Henderson. Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
When you've been married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA, but wasn't sure. She was less obviously deranged. Is Dwayne here with you, Mrs. Henderson?
Why, sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoil-sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right. And you don't want to go on your own?
Well, there's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around to take my picture.
Is Dwayne still working for the CIA?
If he is, he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. He used to think he worked for them, but the psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
What brings you to Quaramonte, Pearl?
What takes me just about anywhere's the market.
You drove 2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the Great Design, George.
What do you make of this stone, Pearl?
Oh, that's pretty. What's that thing supposed to be, a rabbit?
I believe it's a coyote.
Well, it sure is cute.
I was surprised she didn't ask me where she could buy one. What does this mean to you, Pearl?
What cute little feathers. Why, if you had two of those, they'd sure make nice earrings.
This isn't intended for frivolous personal adornment, Pearl. It's a dart, tipped with a fast-acting, muscle-numbing poison.
Pardon me, I stand corrected, honey.
Sometimes I got the feeling that communication with Pearl was like sending signals out into space. Maybe, if you waited long enough, you'd get an intelligent answer back. But it was a long shot. Take a look at this news cutting, Pearl.
You'll have to read it to me, George. I left my specs in a gay bar in Santa Barbara.
Well, it's about an eclipse of the sun, which is due to occur in a few weeks' time.
You'd think the government would warn us about these kind of things.
It's not dangerous or anything. Apparently, the best place to view the eclipse is right here in Quaramonte.
Oh, my.
She didn't appear to be the slightest bit interested. Look at this, Pearl. A tequila worm.
Don't you bring that thing anywhere near me, honey. I swear I'll scream like a hog on a hog plate.
What do you make of this statue, Pearl?
Ooh-wee, that's a spitting image of Dwayne's brother Sheridan. A little less body hair, maybe, but it's him all right.
Catch you later, Pearl. It was Pearl's husband, Dwayne. Hey, Mr. Anderson. Good to see you again.
Do I know you, son?
Gorge Stobbart, remember? In Syria? I sold you a statue.
I remember that. Pearl was mighty vexed when the paint came off.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll give you back the $50.
No, you suckered me fair and square.
Are you still working for... you know who?
You know I can't talk about my work, George. That's between me and Uncle Sam.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
He's the man behind Condor, and the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first time I met you, I was deeply impressed with your naive simplicity. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Quaramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been imprisoned just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
What's the real reason the musician was imprisoned?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. Marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
I spoke to Pearl earlier.
Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way she handled the wheel, you'd think she'd been trucking half her life.
Why did you bring a huge truck like that?
George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam. This truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
Would you like a biscuit, Dwayne?
Oh no, those gourmet dog snacks bring me out in a rash.
You've tried them?
They were on special offer. Pearl bought a whole crate. When I asked her if she was thinking of keeping a dog too, she just laughed.
Would you like to borrow my lucky piece of coal, Dwayne?
What's so lucky about it?
Well, we made it to Quaramonte in one piece.
When you've been here a few days, you won't look on that as luck.
Do you know anything about a shipping company called Condor Transglobal?
Sure I do. You have to get up pretty early to catch Dwayne with his pants down.
What? You beat me to it?
Condor Transglobal is all wound up. Seems like my investigations scared them off.
What do you think of these panties, Dwayne?
Lord, hot stuff, George. You buy those for your girl?
No. A guy we know in Paris bought them for him.
Oh, you're a threesome then. Why are you looking at me like that, George?
Forget it. There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player. Hey, Miguel! He didn't hear me. Hi, I'm Gorge Stobbart. What can you tell me about the mining company?
The general closed down one of their mines after the explosion. Lots of folks lost their lives. I was lucky. I only lost my legs.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
That's obsidian. It's a volcanic rock which has cooled so fast that...
Yeah. Look, I'm not interested in geology.
You're not? I suppose you want to know about the carved picture on it.
That's right.
Then the guy you should talk to is the professor. He was here a while ago.
Do you know what this statue represents?
Should do. I used to carve things like that to sell to tourists. But it scared people around here, so I stopped.
Do you recognize the design on this label?
Why, sure. That's the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company logo.
Do they have an office in Quaramonte?
No, but they ship out from here.
That's what I thought. Did you see the ship with the Condor flag?
No.
But the dock is just the other side of the square.
Might as well be the other side of the moon.
Have you heard about the eclipse of the sun?
Sure, I'm having a party to celebrate it. Drop by.
Really?
Sure. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, and everyone's invited, except the general.
What do you think of these panties?
Awesome. You wear them?
No. Someone sent them to my girlfriend.
Thoughtful.
Hey, Nico!
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor. With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavation. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Senor. Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. My name's Gorge Stobbart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
The lady at the mining company told us a ship belonging to Condor was here recently.
Conchita Garcia is crazy. If there had been a ship, do you think I wouldn't have noticed?
Are you sure you never heard of Condor?
Oh, yes.
The company is registered here in Quaramonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
The musicians out in the square say that a ship flying the Condor flag was birthed here.
They are simple peasants. They will go along with anything you say in the hopes of parting you from your money.
I believe Condor is run by a man named Karzak.
Wrong again, senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor, whoever he is.
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quaramonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records were destroyed by a flash flood.
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
I can see that, General.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happens in your country.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quaramonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour. When he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Ubier. A visitor, senor, like yourselves.
Did you say Ubier?
Si, senor. Professor Ubier. A French archaeologist.
What's Ubier doing in Quaramonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, senor. The professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
Would you like a biscuit?
Are you trying to bribe me?
Well, every man has his price.
Mine is more than a dog cookie, Senor Stobbart.
What do you think of these panties, General?
Oh, boy, fabuloso!
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
I told you, I never heard of the guy. Do I get the panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
That's a native carving, isn't it? Where did you get it?
We picked it up in the market as a souvenir.
I'll be back. Hi, I'm Gorge Stobbart.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
You know anything about this eclipse?
No, senor. El General keeps me in the dark about most things.
Would you like a gourmet dog snack biscuit?
I would love one, senor, but I would have a problem with my teeth.
Toothache?
No, senor. If the General catches me eating on duty, he'll knock them out.
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. The General would have a fit if I left all this paperwork.
I'd like to visit your prisoner.
Condemned prisoners aren't allowed visitors.
Condemned?
To death. He is to be executed. Knowing my luck, I will probably have to shoot him myself.
Amnesty International is going to hear about this. I thought Miguel was arrested for playing the wrong kind of music.
Si, senor, he was.
And that carries the death penalty?
No. You think we're crazy? While being questioned, he confessed to being an anti-government agent.
Do you recognize this statue?
Tezcatlipoca, the night wind. Take it away, senor. That stone is cursed.
So long.
Let's see, so,
It was the map which the general had been showing to Professor Oubier.
that's what we need to look at as the map. I need to get rid of the general, so I believe the way to get rid of him is with Nico.
That man we saw talking to the general was Oubier. Didn't you recognize him?
I never met him, remember? The guy I called in Paris claimed to be Oublié, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
Nah, it's too much of a coincidence that he's here in Quaramonte.
Why did you show him the stone?
I thought maybe he might know something about it.
Well, he does now, for sure. He knows we have it.
Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the general didn't want us to see it. You came on a little strong with the general.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe, but that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. I hear you drove all the way to Quaramonte in a truck.
That's right. You would not believe the state of some of those roads. It makes me downright sad to think there's still some places you can't reach in an automobile. In this day and age, you'd think there'd be decent highways just about anywhere folk choose to go.
Did you know that the truck was full of explosives?
Whatever gave you that idea, as if I couldn't guess?
Your husband. He was exaggerating, wasn't he?
Sometimes I wonder how I'm gonna cope with Dwayne's over-fertile imagination.
Have you met the guy who calls himself the General?
No, I haven't. Is he a real general?
I guess so. He wears a lot of medals on his chest. The wrong side of his chest. At least for any army I'd ever seen. Catch you later, Pearl. Professor Oubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
No, I don't think any of these guys can help me. It's just her I need to speak to about something. She's got something that I need.
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte, we have a saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Professor Ubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobbart. Gorge Stobbart. Take a look at this, Professor. What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals?
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
Including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobbart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
You know, what plot?
I have no idea.
Do you know anything about this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
Do you see this label?
Yes. It refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here to Quaramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
The company no longer exists. They went bankrupt recently.
I have proof that you are directly involved with Condor.
I used them as shippers to transport artifacts to a gallery in Paris. Beyond that, I have no connection with the company, which, as I said, no longer exists.
Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh, yes. Tezcatlipoca, the Lord of Darkness.
A Central American god, right?
A supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means, literally, smoking mirror. There. You see the mirror shield in his left hand? The Mayans believed one could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men. He was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims. And victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals, anything that bled. The steps of his temple ran red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History is my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
From me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the Fifth Age.
Perhaps we should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds destruction on a global scale. The fifth is the final age, ending in the total destruction of the Earth.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Kazakh, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
Maybe you don't, but I do. Why was she known as the Little Dachshund?
It was just a silly pet name I used to call her. Somehow some damned reporter found out.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Would you like a biscuit?
No, thank you.
You should, they're good. I can't get enough of these things. Can you tell me anything
Go
about
away,
this
biscuits
stone?
with dogs.
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale. Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
Check something real quick, because like I didn't unmute myself once. I guess good.
Why don't you want the general at your party?
Because if he comes, he'll bring those damned music albums from the 70s.
There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player. It was one of the cell windows. Stealing trucks wasn't.
I don't like clicking the truck. Pretty sure I need to get Nico in there to distract the general, and then that leaves me with one left person, and then I need to get the other guy out there as well. So
There
I
was
can lift
nothing
him up.
else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
Let's see if we can figure it out.
I had no more to talk to her about.
Hey, Nico! Signor. Lita Chautalon.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
I'll be back.
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time. I had nothing else I wanted to ask him. I had nothing else to talk about.
Go away.
I wasn't gonna get anything out of the gourd lady except spit. Hi. Lovely bread.
¿Qué?
Bread, pan?
Sí, pan.
Maybe I'll come back later when I'm hungry. Hi there. What have you got for sale?
¿Qué?
I said, what have you got? Oh, never mind. Hi.
Wanna buy something?
No, not really.
I got cabbages. Buy a cabbage, senor.
I don't think so. I didn't come all this way to buy vegetables. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Aye, Tezcatlipoca. Put it away, senor. Tezcatlipoca brings nothing but evil.
The poor guy was so freaked, he didn't even mention his cabbages. See ya.
Keep out of there. That's where the explosives are stored.
It was a store cupboard. There was nothing else I wanted to ask the guy. There was nothing else I wanted to ask that guy. There was nothing else I wanted to ask that guy. There was nothing else I wanted to ask the guy. I had nothing else to talk about. It was the newspaper clipping referring to the imminent eclipse. It was the box of biscuits I'd taken from the watchman's hut. Gourmet dog, the snack your dog would bake himself. Sure, as if I'd let a stupid dog loose in the kitchen. There was a cute picture of a boxer dog wearing oven mittens. I had no more to talk to her about. Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George. All I need is a detonator.
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Did you find any evidence of Condor's drug smuggling operations?
Drugs? Hell no! Condor was a cover for the illegal export of Mayan artifacts.
So who was behind Condor Transglobal?
It was registered in the name of Edan.
Did you get the guy?
I don't think he ever existed. Edan backwards spells Nady, Spanish for nobody.
Do you have any kind of detonating device in stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare?
I can't simply give you a device like that, no without a damn good reason.
The General has a chart in his office, which he was discussing with Ubier.
Perhaps that chart will tell us where they're heading.
Maybe, but I can't get anywhere near it while the General and his sidekick are there.
So I need to basically get rid of his, get rid of the General and the other guy there, which is pretty simple once you know how to do it. I know exactly what I need to do, it's just getting to the point of doing it, because you have to go talk to basically pretty much everyone, try to get as much conversation out of everyone.
Hey, Nico!
There was nothing else up.
So I need to get her to distract him, and I'm trying to think how I do it now.
I'd asked him all I'd wanted to for now. I had nothing else I wanted to ask.
Because he can't do anything until the General's out of the way, and they need to get the General out of the way first. And Nico's the key to getting rid of the General. Or at least getting him out of the way, should I say.
Do you know where I could buy a detonator?
Did Dwayne put you up to this by any chance? Oh, I get it. This is to detonate the truckload of explosives, right?
Hey, come on, I was kidding. Did you think I was serious?
I know what you boys are like when you get together and make plans. Dwayne says he could solve all the world's problems if he had enough missiles.
Catch you later, Pearl. I had nothing else to ask him. I had nothing more to say.
It's weird how that bit always goes, like, sounds weird when he talks. Never quite understood why that was.
I had nothing else to talk about. I had nothing else to talk about.
Hey! Stay out of that cupboard.
It was the label I'd found in the Glee's gallery.
Change your mind. You want to buy cabbages after all. How many you want? 2? 3?
None.
Don't come crying to me if you die of scurvy.
He wasn't going to be any help. I had no more to talk to her about.
Wouldn't speak to the colonel. I need to talk to her to get her to talk to the generals. I
Could
can
you
talk to them.
distract the general while I took a look at that chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah, you'd make a great snake charmer. Come on, 5 minutes is all I need.
Well, maybe. But it's your harebrained scheme. You do the talking.
That gets the general out the way.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you, my dear, anything.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well, I want to write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your beloved general.
Si, Signor General.
Look after things here. I'm going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, Gorge Stobbart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
Would you take my friend to the ruins now the General's gone?
I'd be honored, Signor.
Thanks. I'll go get her.
Now we're gonna get rid of this guy as well. So he'll be out of the way, so I can then look at the chart and then speak to the other guy.
I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
Listen, sweetie. I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth. For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
As Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station.
So pretty safe so I don't do anything wrong.
It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Quaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Tezcatlipoca.
And I need to get the detonator first before I do anything else because when you go to talk to the guys in the jail, you end up getting locked in there as well. So I'm pretty sure over that way. You're going too far, George. No. Let's go up the stairs.
Good look at that chart in the police station. It's a map of Quaramonte.
Does it tell us where Ubier is heading?
Yeah, a place called Tezcatlipoca.
That's the site of the mine. I wonder why they're being so secretive about Ubier's plans. One thing's for sure. If the general's involved, they're up to no good. I'd like to talk to that musician we get. Take the detonator and get him out of that jail.
Here is the detonator, Dwayne.
Keep your voice down, George. You want everyone to know. You'd best go and warn Miguel that the U.S. cavalry's on the way.
Okay.
What is happening?
We're getting out of here.
Who's we? They've sent the Delta Force?
Nope.
The Impossible Missions Force?
Don't make me sick. Much better.
Who they?
A retired greetings card salesman from Ohio.
I'm doomed.
You're not the only one.
I should have known you'd be trouble the moment I saw you.
Look, I can explain everything.
Get in that cell, now.
And what if I refuse?
He'll shoot you.
Okay, here I am, going quietly into the cell.
Very wise. Not Americano scum.
One of the reasons I hate guns so much is the way they make people so damned impolite.
I hope you're enjoying your vacation, Senor Stobbart.
Go polish your weapon, Ronaldo.
This was part of your plan, right?
Well, in a manner of speaking, no. I was all out of ideas. It was up to Nico then.
So, here we are.
You've changed.
I thought I would slip into something more comfortable.
The stench of cheap cologne rolled over me like tear gas.
So, what do you want to know about me? Ask and I will answer. I will deny you nothing. I am a very giving person.
How nice for your friends.
Your eyes are glittering like stars.
His damn cologne was making my eyes water. I was running out of sofa.
As spirited as you are beautiful, I admire that.
As long as he admired it from afar. I'd run out of things to talk about. A lava lamp, hip in a retro way. I had no doubt the general thought it was hip, full stop. I didn't want the lava lamp. A stuffed swordfish. Cutting-edge technology, in 1978 at any rate. It was a portrait of some thug in a uniform. Is that a lava lamp?
Sure, it's more impressive in the dark. I'll close the blinds.
No, don't do that. Not on such a beautiful day. I love your TV.
Oh, yeah, cool, no?
Big fish. Catch it yourself?
Catch it. Fishing poles are for children.
Then how did... Are those bullet holes?
2 magazines on full automatic. It put up quite a fight.
Who's the guy with the hat and the fat cigar?
My mother.
Mom, what is going on here?
Nothing, Mom. I was...
I'm in uniform. And when I'm in uniform, it's...
Madame la Presidente. Sorry, Madame la Presidente.
Now, what is going on here?
Nothing, Madame la Presidente. I was just showing my friend Nico some of the cool stuff I've got.
Hi.
Good afternoon, señorita. And just what are your intentions toward my son?
Intentions? We were just talking.
How nice. She has good bone structure now. Has she any brains?
She's a reporter.
Is she? And what sort of questions has she been asking?
I'm a freelance photojournalist. I do lifestyle features.
For what sort of magazines?
It looks safest to play down to good bone structure. Haya, lifestyle of the super rich and vainglorious, Envy magazine.
Excellent. Raoul, you've chosen well for a change.
It was pretty obvious who pulled the strings around here. I hope George was making good use of the time I was buying him.
And then it goes. And when you were in this band of yours, you used to play that song for 2 hours?
Yeah, we were really famous at our college. Still, ours wasn't as good as the original version.
I have never heard that song before, yet I have no doubt this must be true.
Hey! Psst. Hey, George!
Dwayne Henderson. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. Get to the American consul and tell him I've been in prison without charge.
Get real, George. He was the previous occupant of that cell you're in. We're gonna have to use good old American know-how to get you out of there.
Uh-oh.
That, and this truck full of explosives I've got here.
Dwayne, listen to me. You'll kill all of us.
You're such a naysayer, George. It'll go like clockwork. Negative to negative, it's positive to you gotta get the bare copper wire here. Let me just, there. All right, I'll just hook that up. There we go. Okay, just a minute. I've got to get to a safe distance.
Quick, Miguel, hit the mattress.
You have strange customs up north.
Here we go.
Too late.
Are we dead yet?
Horse shit.
What happened to the explosives?
There ain't no explosives. My dumbass supplier must have given me organic fertilizer instead of chemical. All I got here is 400 pounds of lightly fried horse apples.
That's a lovely image, Dwayne. Never mind, I'll think of something. I couldn't reach the noose. I can't believe that punk jailed me for no reason at all.
So, it happens.
But I'm a U.S. citizen.
See? That's true. They dare not execute you.
Yeah? Well, that's something.
They'll have to arrange an accident for you instead.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
Yes. The old man spoke of him.
The foreigner? Professor Oubier?
That's right. This man Karzak is Ubier's boss.
Why is that noose hanging from the bars?
Ronaldo strung it up for me to hang myself. Don't cry for me, Senor Stobbart. When I am dead, the goddess will take my soul to rest in paradise.
Listen to me, Miguel. You give me that rope and I'll get us out of here. Is there somewhere you can hide from the General?
Of course. My friends have a boat ready to take me upriver. But how are you going to break out of here with just a short piece of rope?
I'm not sure. But I'll think of something.
If your plan doesn't work, will you let me hang myself in peace?
I couldn't escape that way. Solid bars protected the small window. I had nothing else to ask him. I had nothing... Hey, Dwayne, I want you to tie this rope to your truck and then drive forward. I'd had no idea whether this was really going to work, but I'd seen it in a black and white western. Of course, Hopalong was using a horse, and Dwayne had a 4-ton truck, but hey, the principle's sound.
Anything you say, George.
Please forgive my mother. She can be a little difficult.
Oh, my feet, Raoul! Propose, you idiot!
Don't mind her. She just wants grandchildren.
Don't think I can't hear you, Raoul. I want the worthy successor, and you're not it. Propose now, or I'll do it for you.
Look, Nico, we haven't known each other very long, but...
What the hell was that?
I didn't know what was going on, but Georges had to be involved in it somewhere.
I ain't gonna say a masonry says it all.
Quick, senor, the river.
Huh? Wait! What about Nico?
George, what have you done? You only had to sneak a look at the chart, and it's turned into World War III.
No time to explain. Come on.
Don't move, terrorist scum. You talking to me, Junior? Yes, I'm talking to you, fat man. And my name's not Junior. A word to the wise, Junior. You carry on waving that pea shooter in my face, and the next person who sees it is gonna be your proctologist. Savvy? General, I am happy to report that I have apprehended the terrorist.
You idiot! Not Anne, the other American and the French woman. They're the ones.
When I recovered consciousness, I was alone, washed up on the riverbank. My head was aching fiercely, and my mouth
pretty good at that
tasted
point,
like
yeah.
a swamp. At first, I thought the music I heard was in my head. Just my luck to wind up in paradise with a migraine. But I followed the sound and discovered a treehouse in a nearby clearing. That vine rope could be useful. The contraption consisted of a crude wooden wheel with wooden slats. It would have been a shame to tamper. The water wheel had been built to provide a natural source of power. The wheel had a rim of roughly beaten iron. A wooden box was connected to the nearby water wheel.
It's pretty good. The animation in this one is pretty good for the style game. It's mostly all 2D in that.
It was a pile of damp leaves. It was a pile of damp leaves. The vine provided a drive belt to connect the two stones. Not such a good idea. It was heavy. I guess that was intentional. Now I had the contraption working.
Hello? Any
seemed to be working just fine. The machine seemed to be pumping air up to the treehouse. It was a pile of damp leaves. I placed the bank statement over the damp leaves. I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. Not such a good idea. Nope. No, that's wrong. Nope. I don't think so. No, that's wrong. No.
It's something to light it with, and I can't think of what it's supposed to use.
The machine was broken. It would have been a shame to tamper with the elegant bridge. Two round stones were carefully balanced on a wooden structure. The stones were too heavy to turn by hand.
It's something that works like a flint steel. That's probably what it is I need to do now, actually. Something else you can get here. Hey, Leonard Chalice. How you doing?
It was a pile of damp leaves. It was a pile of damp leaves. The iron rim of the water wheel would have torn the skin from my fingers if I touched it.
Aha, there you go. Oh, no, it's not the first time I played it. I've played it quite a few times, but I'm currently doing point-and-click adventure games, so this is one of the ones that got picked in my my votes. So the next sort of game series people want to see. I've already just previously completed Broken Sword 1 a couple of days ago. Now playing Free Broken Sword 2.
Quick, man, put out that fire. I got a sick woman up here.
I just haven't played this game for quite a while, so I'm kind of a bit rusty on parts of the game. I remember the story behind it. But it's just like every now and then I might get a little bit stuck and think, oh, what was I supposed to do here? I have to admit, this is my favourite one out of the Broken Sword series.
Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Stobbart, Gorge Stobbart.
I'm Father Hubert. I don't suppose you speak French.
Huh? Why do you want to know that?
I found a young woman with a fever by the river this morning. The poor girl is close to death, and there's nothing I can do for her but pray. I don't understand her, but I think she's speaking French.
That must be
I think it had like about 11 votes, I think, on it, so it's pretty good.
What are you doing out here in the jungle?
God's work. Not quite the destination I had in mind when I set out, but well, you know what they say? Mysterious ways and so on.
You didn't plan to end up here?
No. I was on my way to a miners' camp in the north. When my boat capsized on the river.
That's exactly what happened to me. How long have you been here?
11 years.
Second. I do actually have a straw poll up now, and we just get the link to come back up and check. So if you wanna vote on the next game after this one, there's that link. So I'm always interested in seeing what you guys want me to play next. I think it's got the Dig, Loom, Full Throttle, and there's one other game. I can't think what the other game is.
That's my girlfriend you've got in your treehouse. What's the matter with her?
Something bitten by a venomous river snake.
But can't you do something for her? There's a cure, isn't there?
I ran on penicillin and morphine years ago, but the local people speak of a root which they believe will counteract poison.
Where can I find this root?
I don't know, but maybe the shaman of the village can tell us.
Will you show me the way to the village?
Me? Oh, but I can't.
Can't? Nico's life depends on it.
You're right. Of course I should, despite my own guilt and shame. But I can't go as a representative of God with a creased collar.
A creased collar? You mean you put your personal attire higher than the life of a sick woman?
I will not go to that village looking anything but my best.
Give me your collar. I'm sure I can find a way to press it.
A pirate I was meant to be. Trim the sails and roam the sea.
In the meantime, I must.
Kind of made me jump a little bit there. First one.
There was obviously more than a creased collar bothering the priest.
I don't know if any people played Loom. Loom's one of the very first LucasArts point-and-click adventure games that LucasArts did. It was definitely before Monkey Island as well.
So there I was, hundreds of miles from civilization, doing the
Oh,
house.
the Dig's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a strange world.
It's definitely one that I would also suggest to play if you haven't played it yet. I think you can get good old games. It's even on Steam as well.
The press worked surprisingly well on the collar. Here's your collar, Father.
Thank you, George. You'll probably think it a little odd of me to make such a fuss.
Oh no. If I've been living in the jungle for 11 years, I'd be completely screwy too.
Screwy? Yes, perhaps I am. Ever since my last visit to that village.
Do you want to tell me what happened at the village?
I forgot my vows. I let myself be overwhelmed by the beauty of this unspoiled paradise, and in a moment of weakness, animal passion begins to interfere.
You know, you should be writing romantic novels. Did you experience some kind of a physical liaison at the village?
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I found myself doing the monkey dance.
I've never heard it called that before. And I didn't want to pry.
Oh, that was a bit delayed.
Hubert's murky past. Now you've got your collar back.
I have to see if there's a way to kind of make that do that straight away, kind of thing.
Look, Father, I still don't know why you're so reluctant to visit that village, and it's none of my business. Whatever the reason,
I didn't realise there was a
it
Broken
can't be
Sword
more
5
important than
Kickstarter.
saving Nico's life.
You're right. I must be crazy. We must make haste if we're to reach the village before night.
I think I've only ever really played the first one and the second one. I played a bit through the third one, but it was kind of trying to get used to it being slightly different to the first and second, since it was in 3D. I haven't even seen the
Hey,
fourth
boys.
or the fifth one yet.
Glad to see you're still wearing the underpants. What?
They're the best Christmas present we ever had, Father.
Mine are too tight.
Well, we all have our cross to bear. This is George. He has a request to make. I'm afraid I can't stay. Good luck, George.
That's a relief. I never feel comfortable with him about.
Me neither. These damn pants keep riding right up my butt.
So, what do you want?
My girlfriend has been bitten by a snake.
So, everyone in my family has been bitten by snakes.
I was bitten by a dormouse once.
She's real sick. I hoped your wise man might have medicine.
Wise man? You must have the wrong village.
Father Hubert said there was a wise man in the village who could help me.
No, there's no one of that description here.
Ooh, he must mean the old man, the shaman.
I thought he just made up all those stories he tells. I never thought of him as being wise.
I'd like to see the shaman, please.
You can't just go walking in there and demand to speak to the shaman.
Why not?
You have to observe the protocol. The shaman demands tribute.
Tribute? You mean like a gift?
That's right.
The eternal question. What do you give a man who has everything? Here, he'll like these biscuits.
If you say so.
I find it funny he's been carrying these biscuits home the whole entire time since the docks.
So, is this your first visit to our planet?
I am from the same planet as you. I'm from California. Why, we're practically neighbors.
He liked the biscuits, especially the black ones. He wants to know if you've any more.
I put the Mayan stone
Some
in the
coal in
empty
this one,
box.
maybe.
There's already something in the box. Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
I'll give them to him.
What do you do for entertainment here in...
I have to take a
the
look
jungle?
into
We
Broken
make
Sword 5,
documentaries. Me
definitely.
and Tabtic, we've appeared.
Because
in
the
7
thing is, the 3D one kind of put me off a little bit, the way it kind of just changed the way you did things, because I'm more of the whole, I prefer my point and clicks very classic. I do like to stick them, because
The shaman wants to
a lot of the point and clicks I've played that have gone into the whole
Well,
3D
it's been nice
aspect,
to
it
talk
didn't
to you
really
guys.
go very well. Like Monkey Island 4, that was terrible idea to put that into 3D when I did it. It was horrible. And Simon the Sorcerer 3D, that was the worst one I've ever seen, really. But I'll have to play through Broken Sword 3 again and get to grips with the game and possibly even play that one at some point. And then get my hands on the fourth
My
and the
name's
fifth one.
Gorge Stobbart.
Please, sit down. Welcome, George.
Thanks.
It has long been foretold that a white man would bring the Coyote Stone to this village.
I don't suppose this would be any use to you.
It sure would. This wax on a stick will change our lives.
What do you want it for?
To decorate our bodies for the monkey dance.
Why is Father Hubert so reluctant to visit the village?
I don't know. He used to come here a lot, but then he just stopped. You'd think he wants to spend some time with his kids.
Did you say Father Hubert has kids?
3 girls and 5 boys by my reckoning. All conceived in the same week at the Feast of the Monkey Dance.
My girlfriend's been bitten by a snake.
And you want me to heal her?
That's the idea. Can you do it?
I'm not sure. My gums aren't what they
Hey,
used to be.
Shifty Cat, how you doing? Thanks for the retweet earlier. I saw that.
Listen, my girlfriend's in a coma. Please, old man, give me the root.
What root?
Father Hubert told me of a root which could cure the bite of the river snake.
There's nothing sacred with these people. That was our secret, known only to members of my tribe.
If that root is my chance of saving Nico's life, then I want it. Fast.
There is time yet, Gorge Stobbart. Time to learn why you were called here.
Fine. If I listen to your story, then will you give me the root?
The eel travels far, but still returns to the place of his spawning.
And look, I'm running a tight schedule, so can you skip the riddles?
Many years ago, when the world was young, the great god and king Quetzalcoatl was defeated by trickery and deceit. His enemy Tezcatlipoca took his place as leader and demanded terrible human sacrifices. A group of loyal priests found a way to trap Tezcatlipoca. But his powers were so great, they knew he would not remain trapped forever. His time of incarceration would end with the eclipse, which marked the close of the Fifth Age. So the priests fashioned 3 obsidian stones which contained the power to seal the mirror for all time. But before the stones could be put in place, they were seized by the invading Spanish.
But how did they trap Tez, the evil god?
They built a pyramid which they told Tezcatlipoca was dedicated to him. At its center, they fashioned a huge mirror of perfectly smooth obsidian. Luring him into the pyramid with praise and flattery, they used sorcery to ensnare him in the mirror.
There's an eclipse of the sun due very soon, isn't there?
Correct. The eclipse which marks the ending of the Fifth Age will come before the next full moon.
Less than 2 weeks.
Something about the fact that this has to do with
Tezcatlipoca would return, but I figured Karzak's
Aztecs. I really like the idea of that in the game.
What happened to the stones?
They were taken by the Spanish to the coastal town that is now called Quaramonte City. Only 1 stone reached Spain. The other 2 fell into the hands of buccaneers. The Jaguar stone was captured by an English captain, El Draco. The Eagle stone was taken by a pirate called Ketch. The 3rd stone, the Coyote stone, reached Spain safely. That is the stone in your possession.
Suppose I was to believe there was anything in your story, other than the rambling delusions of a seriously wacky old man. Suppose I was to swallow it, hook, line, and kitchen sink. What then?
Then you would see that the fate of the human race rests upon your shoulders.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do I get anything to help me combat Tezcatlipoca?
Like what?
Well, a magical weapon?
Get real, George.
Tell me more about the Eagle Stone.
The stone was loaded onto a galleon with many valuable artifacts plundered by the Spanish. But shortly after leaving harbor, a terrible squall blew up and damaged the ship. The ship was intercepted by a bloodthirsty pirate, Captain Ketch. Ketch made short work of overpowering the crew, stealing the treasure, and sinking the Spanish ship.
Where's the Eagle Stone now?
Nobody knows for sure. Ketch retired from piracy and bought an island in the Caribbean.
Tell me more about the Jaguar Stone.
Many centuries ago, the port of Quaramonte was entered by a ship flying Spanish colors. The captain, a man known as El Draco, sent soldiers ashore. Only when the soldiers arrested the mayor did the people realize that they were English privateers. The mayor was held hostage while the soldiers looted and plundered the city. Amongst the treasures they stole was the Jaguar Stone.
Yeah, that's the thing I do like about this one. I really do like that.
Where is the Jaguar Stone now?
I suppose El Draco took it back to his homeland, across the Great Sea.
To England?
So you got England and...
What do I do when I find the stone?
Where Captain Ketch went to.
Bring them here to me and I shall prepare you.
show me the way to the pyramid of Tezcatlipoca?
Not until you possess all 3 stones.
Now do I get the route?
Here, take it. Make haste if you wish to save the girl's life. The hummingbird sings to me of death to come.
Now you're talking in riddles again. Listen, is it okay if I crash here? I've got no chance of finding my way through the jungle in the dark.
You're welcome.
Not quite sure, but it looks like George has actually got a beard.
Much sleep.
Maybe it's just the shirt.
I left the village at dawn and stumbled back through the jungle in a post-party daze. It was just like sneaking back to my parents' house when I was younger. Except Oakland didn't have monkeys or parrots.
See, so I need to put this underneath here.
The cone was ideal as a makeshift container.
A Waku. This game's pretty awesome. So I was never quite sure if he actually had stubble or if it was just the lighting from his shirt just reflecting back the sunlight.
Squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone.
Hubert, the antidote. What are you waiting for? Get it together, quickly.
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down. Okay, try and rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other 2 stones.
A pirate I was meant to be. Trim the sails and roam the sea.
What have you got into now, Gorge Stobbart?
The patient is sounding more like her own self already. Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently.
I do love the art in
They
these
traced
games.
the pirate
Really good.
catch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing.
Right, so let's see. It's been... what I think I'm going to do now is, because it's been almost 2 hours, is I'm probably going to save the game here for tonight, because it's getting near on to like 10:30, almost 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this part of the game. You can catch the first part as well on my highlights if you have missed any part of the game and you want to rewatch it. There's also Broken Sword 1, completely all highlighted from when I was playing that as well. And yeah, so I should be playing this again. I might play it again tomorrow, because I really couldn't help myself playing it tonight. If I don't play it tomorrow, then I'll definitely be playing it Monday. So I hope to see you guys then, and thanks guys for the follows tonight, and thanks for the retweets, and I hope to see you guys next time. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.